and good afternoon, brothers and sisters, and welcome to another edition of BFR Ministry, Bible Facts Revealed. We are an extension of Absolute Bible Truth Atlanta, where Brother Joshua and Brother Big Baby are the teachers there, along with assistant pastors Brother Antoine, Brother LeVar, Brother Kevin, Brother Jeff, Brother KC, Elder Joseph, and Anonymous Hebrew, and Brother George from down under in Australia. We would like to welcome you today, and we would also like for you to join us, okay, and invite you out to study with us on Blog Talk Radio for our Absolute Bible Truth Sabbath class every Saturday between 4 and 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our teacher, Brother Joshua, for a blessed and edified class out of the scriptures. Once again, join us on the Sabbath day. That's Saturday between 4 and 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our teacher, Brother Joshua, who will be giving you a blessed and edified class out of the scriptures. I'm Brother David, your teacher for today, and reading for me, as usual, is Sister Teresa.
How are you today?
And we are Absolute Bible Truth Chicago. And our motto here is, if they can't prove it, don't you believe it, and don't you repeat it. I also like to say this. We are not here to convince you. We are only here to inform you. Okay? Remember that. And our title for our class today is, how did the fallen angels couple with the daughters of men? Once again, how did the fallen angels couple with the daughters of men? And this is a class that I find to be overwhelming. I'm overwhelmed with the topic because it's not talked about in your everyday Sunday churches and so forth by your pastors, your preachers, and even your Hebrew Israelites who's supposed to have the oracles of God. They will tell you in a minute that God gave them the oracles, and they have the oracles of God, and they're the teachers of God, but they never speak about this. And for years, you know, people would bring up this topic, and they would then just ignore what they read, and they change the characters and the actions of these characters to their own desired results. But we're not going to do that today. And some of the people have been reading this Bible 40, 50 years plus, and still they avoid this Bible topic altogether. It's as if it's not even written in the Bible. Mm-hmm. You know, and that doesn't make any sense because the Bible is truth. We can read you that out of the scriptures. You know that. God's word is true. It is true. And if you believe that, then you have to deal with everything you read in this Bible, because there's an answer, sisters and brothers, to everything that you have a question to out of the scriptures. It's there. You just have to look for it. You have to seek it. You have to find and search for it. You know, but how did these fallen angels couple with the daughters of men? Because you know what? The Bible says that they did. Mm-hmm. And I don't care if you don't believe it, but that's what the Bible says. Now, are we going to go by your feelings and what you don't believe, or are we going to read what the Bible says and deal with that? You have to choose, people. You can't just pick what you want.
And the funny thing is that, okay, you believe one thing out of the Bible, but you don't believe this. You either have to believe it all, or believe or don't believe it all.
Well said. And that's really the premise of this lesson right here. You have to believe what we're going to show you today, because it's in the Bible and in other books that are connected to the Bible. And it's the absolute truth, to coin a phrase. Absolute Bible truth. That's what it is. So without any delay any further, we're going to find out how these angels pulled this off. How were they able to accomplish coupling with, and when I say couple, brothers and sisters, couple, we're talking about simply having sex. It's as simple as that, because that's what the Bible says they did. You have to deal with this. You black Hebrew Israelites cannot run anymore from this, because I'm going to show it to you as plain as day, and you have to deal with this. Or you have to close the Bible and not deal with the Old Testament. You can't cherry pick. You can't pick and choose what you want to deal with. And no, you can't do that. And you've been getting away with that, but you can't do that anymore. to knock only people as well. You have to look at this book and deal with what's in there and deal with it. Okay? If you don't want to deal with the New Testament, then you deal with the Old Testament, then preach what's in the Old Testament.
And it's in the Old Testament. Come on.
This is what I'm saying. So without further ado, we're going to get into this lesson and we're going to start showing you what the Bible says, what the scriptures say, okay? And you can't run from this anymore. You can't hide from this any longer. So let's get into finding out the answer to this question. How did these fallen angels couple with the daughters of men and bring about children who happen to be giants, hybrids, bloodthirsty, evil giants, which brought about the Lord sending the flood? You don't understand what you've been reading, people. But anyway, let's get into this. Let's go to Acts, the 14th chapter. We're going to start there. We're going to start at the 8th verse and read to the 11th. But let me show you something you never once asked yourselves, you black Hebrew Israelite teachers along with others. And I'm not just picking on them, but hey, I'm just saying, I know what they teach, and I was one of the people that used to receive what they taught until I started looking for myself, and I realized that many things, not all, but many things that they brought to me were not actual facts out of the Bible. It were things that they added and their own personal opinions and so forth. So what we're going to do is stay away from that. And we're going to show you they don't consider why this was said about two of God's apostles. Okay, let's go to Acts 14, start at the 8th.
And there sat a certain man at Lystra, impotent in his feet,
okay, go ahead,
being a cripple from his mother's womb, who never had walked. The same heard Paul speak, who steadfastly beholding him.
Paul speaking those healing words of God. Go ahead.
And perceiving that he had faith to be healed.
That's what it takes. Go ahead.
Said with a loud voice, stand upright on thy feet. And he leaped and walked.
That's the power of God through the words that he spoke of God. Go ahead.
And when the people saw what Paul had done, they lifted up their voices, saying in the speech of Lycaonia, the gods are come down to us in the likeness of men.
The what?
Likeness of men.
The gods are come down to us in the likeness of men. Come down where? What were these people at? They were on earth, brothers and sisters. So the gods came from where? Come down. So they had to be up in heaven, and these gods came down in the likeness of men. Who are these gods? Who are these gods that came down? I'm going to tell you, because we don't play around here. We get right to it. They were angels. And we're going to show you that throughout this lesson, that angels come down and appear before men as men. You don't understand this. And you think when they come down and appear before you as a man, they don't have what men have? All the parts? And I mean all of them.
And all over the book, it tells about how angels came and appeared as men to Abraham and to Lot and all the others.
And we're going to read some of that, but just check this out. I want you to wait a minute here. Let me repeat this. They came down in the likeness of men, not in the likeness of women. I'm making that point for a reason later on. Remember that. Okay? Now we're going to go define a few words just to be sure of what the meaning of these words are and how they're pronounced in the Greek and so forth. Strong's Bible Concordance, we're going to go there. 23:16 in the Greek section, and the word translated gods. What's the word?
The word is theos, of certain affinity, a deity, especially with 3588, a supreme deity, figuratively a magistrate.
Okay, it says supreme divinity, okay, but that's okay. It's still a deity, and it said magistrate, and we're going to move on and look at this word deity. We're going out to the Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary and look at deity. I want you to read what we have there, page 299, copyright 1963. Deity, what does it say?
Deity, the rank or essential nature of a god.
Of a god, go ahead.
divinity, supreme being, God. A god or goddess, the deities of ancient Greece.
Okay.
One exalted or revered as supremely good or powerful.
So we're talking about deities here. We're talking about gods. And we know that these gods are angels. Okay? Now, let's look at something else it said. It said in Acts that they came down, the gods have come down in the likeness of men. Okay? This word, let's go to the Strong's Bible Concordance in the Greek section, 3666, and look at the word translated likeness. What's the word?
The word is homoio.
Okay, and what does it mean?
From 3664 to assimilate.
To assimilate. What does that mean, brothers and sisters? Go ahead.
I.e., compare, pass.
A pass for something. Go ahead. Meaning you have to look very similar to pass as something or for something. Go ahead.
To become similar.
Similar. Go ahead.
Be make like.
Be make like or made like. Go ahead.
In the likeness, resemble.
Resemble. So these gods came down in the likeness of men, meaning they resembled men or looked exactly like men. And you don't think that they had the parts of men? If they're going to play that role, they're going to act like men? Think about what I'm saying, brothers and sisters. That don't make no sense. Okay? Let's stay in the Strong. We're going to go to 3664 because it said this word likeness was from 3664. And we're going to look up the same word in the Greek section, translated likeness. What's that word?
The word is homoios. From the base of 3674. Similar.
Similar in what?
Appearance or character.
In appearance or character. Now, we're getting into something else. When we say appearance, we know that look means you look like somebody. And you could pass for them. But when it say character, that's a whole nother word right there. Let's define that word. Because we're just running this down so you can get a full and clear understanding, much clearer than you've been given by your past teachers, brothers and sisters. Now, let's go to a dictionary, an old dictionary. This dictionary is over 100 years old. It's the Webster's New International Dictionary, copyrighted in 1901 up to 1934, second edition. And we're going to look at this word character. The older the dictionary, the word has not been altered. This is the way it originally looked over 100 years ago when you define this word character. It says 6A. That's where I started. Read that 6A.
The aggregate distinctive mental.
Wait a minute. Mental. So not only did these gods come down and in the likeness of men, they also had the same mental capabilities and thoughts as men. Go ahead.
And moral qualities.
Moral qualities. Go ahead.
Belonging to an individual or a race as a whole.
So if you're going to come down and pretend to be a man, you've got to take all the attributes that men have. You got to have a mental capacity. You got to have the moral qualities because you're among men. And you got to appear to be one because you have to act like one. And this says belong to an individual. Go ahead. Of a race and whole. Can finish.
The stamp of individuality impressed by nature.
By nature, go ahead.
Education.
That means they were smart.
Or habit.
Or habit.
As character is what a person is.
And they say by habit, men had wives. So if you're going to pretend to be a man, you're going to get you a wife too to go along, so you're going to be recognized as what you really are, brothers and sisters. And this is exactly what the Bible say happened. But you don't look up these words to put this stuff together so you can see that the Bible is not lying. You just don't believe it.
It's just like that movie where they had the pods and the people were turning into these other creatures,
body snatchers,
and when they were trying to pretend to be the same as them, and then they did something out of character.
Exactly.
They they screamed on him, and
Exactly.
everybody descended on him.
You're not paying attention to anything. You know, you even got movies out here that
Yeah.
the Lord calls people to give you information through these movies, and you think it's just some funny stuff they put together or some fiction. No, brothers and sisters, it's not. All you gotta do is research, examine things. You're not doing that. You're just taking somebody's word for it and think that he can't be wrong. Or he might be lying to you unintentionally or intentionally. It doesn't matter, it's still a lie. But anyway, it says, you said character is what a person is. And go ahead.
Reputation is what he is supposed to be.
Two different things. So when they came down in the likeness of men, they came down also in the character of men. They were just like men. They did the things that men do. They had the habits of men, meaning they had to get them wives as well to pass themselves off as being men. Now what we're going to do is we're going to continue this. The fallen angels, or the rebellious sons of God, took the character of men and they hid alongside man. And we have a lot of information on this, but I just thought I'd go to, it's even in the Dead Sea Scrolls, but I thought I would go to a book and read some of this, just a little portion of this. They came down and the Lord sent the righteous angels to recapture them, okay? But then they took on these form of men, and they hid among men, okay? Because remember, the book tells you this. It said that, hey, you be careful, because you may have entertained angels unawares. This is in the book. And you don't pay no attention to what you're reading. And many of us, believe it or not, brothers and sisters, over the years, we possibly have entertained angels unawares, not even knowing, because they look just like us. They act like us. They eat, drink, sleep, and they have partners. They have women as partners. Okay? And this is something that has happened in the past. And we're going to go to a book that's going to verify this. It's going to bear it out. And what I want to do is make sure that when we come to understand that many of us have entertained angels unawares, we're going to go to the Book of the Giants by W.B. Henning on page 16. And this is also mentioned in the Dead Sea Scrolls on page 549. But I want to read something to you about what I just said to prove to you that it's the accurate and absolute truth. Okay, when you get there, the Book of the Giants by W.B. Henning, page 16, I want you to read where it's highlighted at the top right there. Page 16. Go ahead.
They took and imprisoned all the helpers that were in the heavens.
Now these are the righteous angels imprisoning those that help those fallen angels do some things they shouldn't have done, okay? Because you can't break the law up in heaven and get away with it. Anyway, go ahead.
And the angels themselves descended from the heaven.
Wait a minute. Didn't we read in Acts that that these angels had came down in the likeness of men, or the gods had come down, descended to earth in the likeness of men? This is what you read here too. So they themselves, the angels, these are these gods, okay, they themselves descended from heaven. Go ahead.
To the earth.
Where?
To the earth.
To the earth, brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
And when the 200 demons saw those angels,
these are the 200 sons of God that were the leaders of these roguish and rebellious sons of God, or angels, okay? They were leaders, okay? Go ahead.
They were much afraid and worried.
Okay, they were much afraid and worried, but it said the 200 demons, that's what you are. When you go against the Lord, you no longer holy, you no longer spiritual, you a demon. You can be labeled as that. And it says, saw those righteous angels, and I can tell you their names, Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel, coming to lock them up. They were going to incarcerate them. They were much afraid and worried. Wouldn't you be? Okay, go ahead.
They assumed the shape of men.
That's what they did. They assumed the shape of men. And also what? The character, brothers and sisters. You can't pass yourself off no man as a deaf mute or somebody that, you know, ain't got no... Come on. You have to look like a man. You have to act like a man. You have to speak like a man. You have to do the things that men do. And you have to have a female, because men have wives, they have women. And these angels went through the whole thing because they also have the parts that men have. You can't pull this off without that. Go ahead.
And hid themselves.
They hid themselves among men. They looked like men so they could hide among men. Okay?
Thereupon the angels forcibly removed the men from the demons.
They recaptured them and locked them up. That's another lesson. I just want you to see that this is everywhere. Like I said, I could have went into the Dead Sea Scrolls and other ancient, books and read about this and proved the same point. But I just wanted to read it out of that book. Okay, but anyway, they took on these gods that descended to earth, these angels, these fallen heavenly children of God, these sons of God. They came and took on the shapes of men and hid among men, acting like men, doing the things that men do, having the habits of men, the mental capacity. Did we read that in one of them definitions? All of this, brothers and sisters. Okay, let's look up a word here. Let's go to the Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary, page 299, copyright 1963, and we're gonna look at the word angel right quick. We could have looked it up in the Strong's, but I would prefer to look it up right here too, because it tells you the same thing. What's the definition? What's the meaning of this word?
Okay, a spiritual being.
But it says something else in the Greek. It's called
angelos.
Okay, angelos. It means messenger. Go ahead. Now you're gonna read a. What does it say?
A spiritual being superior to man in power and intelligence.
So they were hiding this, in a sense. These gods who came down in the likeness of men, they were superior in power and in intelligence, because we can read other places and show you how that also came about. When they took wives, they forcibly took wives from their husbands, which brought about something else. You can't take a wife, a woman that's married, and then make her your wife. What are you committing a crime, and you're causing adultery. Don't you understand who brought that to this planet? But that's another lesson in itself. Finish this.
An order of angels. See celestial hierarchy.
These were powerful, superior angels, more than men, and intelligence as well. Go ahead.
An attendant spirit of guardian. A white-robed winged figure of human form in fine art.
These are just some of the other definitions, but we read the one that pertained to our class. We're going to move on now. And these gods, angelic beings, these angels, heavenly sons of God, they came down from heaven in the appearance or likeness and character of earthly men, brothers and sisters, and hid among mankind. That's why the book tells you, be careful. You may have entertained angels unawares. That's why it tells you that. And they say, they blended in and did the things that men do, because they were equipped physically with what man is equipped with, including having sex with women, because that's what the Bible said they did. And they brought forth giants. Okay, let's go to Enoch. Let's go to the expert. And you say, well, why do we keep going to Enoch? Because Enoch is preached by every prophet in this Bible, just about. Jude preached it. Even Jesus said some of the things that Enoch said. Enoch was a witness.
Yes.
He's an expert when it comes to these fallen sons of God. He was the one that reprimanded. The Lord gave him authority to reprimand him because they wanted Enoch to talk to the Lord in their behalf. We're going to read a little bit of that. We're going to go now to Enoch 15, chapter 15, and we're going to skip to verse 3. Let me get there with you. I didn't even bring my other. Oh, you have. Go ahead. We're going to skip from, we're going to read verse 1 and 2. Because Enoch was a righteous scribe of God. That's what it's telling him. Anyway, we're going to start at verse 3. We're going to read 3, Enoch 15, 3 to 7. Start at verse 3.
Wherefore have ye left the holy, high, holy, and eternal heaven?
Wait a minute. these sons of God, these angels, left the eternal heaven. Go ahead.
And lain with women.
Wait a minute. They lain with women. What does that mean, brothers and sisters? What does that mean? This is in the Bible too. Where do you think Moses got this from? And Peter, where do you think they got this stuff from? Go ahead.
And defiled yourselves with the daughters of men.
Who is Enoch talking to here and talking about? He's talking about the angels who left their home. And that's a twofold thing. And I'm going to prove this to you. Go ahead.
And taken to yourselves wives.
Wives. If you come down and you pretending to be a man, you acting like a man, you eating the things that men eat, you wash like men wash, all of this. You take on the characteristics of men, you have to do what men do. And here's telling you right here, they took wives like men do, earthly men do, because you got to fit in. This has been around for you people all these years, but you don't seek it. You just want some temporary stuff to just, hey, your ears are itching for foolishness. And you find people that give you that foolishness, you move on away from the truth. But it says they have taken, he said, you have taken to yourselves wives, earthly women, daughters of men. Go ahead.
And done like the children of earth.
What does the children of earth do? What do men do? Keep on reading.
And begotten giants as your sons.
Don't you know that a man's or in a woman's children are their legacy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the angels didn't need no legacy. They didn't have to act like men. They were spiritual beings who had eternal life.
Right.
You don't need to duplicate. You don't die. Not until you sin, the Lord brought that about later. But you got eternal life. You live forever. What you want children from? You God's children, eternal children. And it's going to tell you this. Keep reading. We're going to go to another section. The 4th verse has a title to it. And it's called, and you can read about this, brothers and sisters, what we just read in Genesis 6 and 2 and 4. Okay? And it has a title saying, Abandon Holiness. Who abandoned holiness?
The angels.
The angels did, the fallen sons of God, the fallen children of heaven. Go ahead, read that 4th verse.
And though ye were holy, spiritual, living the eternal life.
That should have been sufficient. You should have wanted to want no children like men. You dig what I'm saying? You shouldn't have wanted that because it wasn't for you. And it's going to tell Enoch is going to confirm what I'm saying to you. He said, you are holy, spiritual, living the eternal life. It's what we're trying to get to. You had it already, but you abandoned it. Okay, go ahead.
You have defiled yourself with the blood of women.
You have defiled yourself with the blood of women just like men do when they have sex with women. You don't understand this? And boom, go ahead.
And have begotten children with the blood of flesh.
What kind of children did the angels beget? What did Genesis 6, 1 through 4 tell us? The children were the giants. They were the children that came about with the coupling of the daughters of men with fallen angels, or heavenly beings, or spiritual beings. It's simple. It's there in the Bible. Go ahead.
And as the children of men have lusted after flesh and blood, as those also do who die and perish.
Yeah, because you angels were created not to die, because you were eternal. You couldn't die. The Lord had to create a specific, we're going to read that later on as well, a specific place for them, because they could not be forgiven what they did, because they tried to destroy the creation that God, you don't try to destroy things that God bring about and create, brothers and sisters, but these fallen angels rebelled and they did so. But anyway, it says, you lusted after women. This is that strange flesh that they lusted after, because it is strange. You are a heavenly being wanting to lay with an earthly woman, flesh and blood woman. That ain't what you are. That's strange. Okay, it is not normal. Now we're going to go on and move on to verse 5. It has a title called Wives for Men, meaning wives are for men. Ain't for you, ain't no man. You might look like one, but you can also look like other things. Okay, you can also look like adamant things, meaning solid things. I can show you through another historical book that Satan became a waterfall and tried to trick one of God's saints. Okay, but that's another lesson in itself. But anyway, read that 5th verse.
Therefore have I given them wives also.
Men wives, not you, angels. I've given men wives. For what purpose? Go ahead.
That they might impregnate them.
That's why the angels, when they took wives, what do you think they're going to do when they acting like men? The mindset of men. All of that we've already spoken about. We read about it in Genesis. They impregnated them too. Because they had the components, the physical prowess to do this. And you people don't believe the Bible. You claim you do, but this stuff is right in your face. And we're talking about in the first book of the Bible. And you start kicking right there. And you don't want to accept what you read. Put it down. Throw it away. Just be sinners. If you're going to deal with the truth, you read all of it, you eat all of it, you take it all in, and you believe it. That's what it says. You can't get around this. Go ahead and finish this. It said, and also that men, he gave wives to men, and they might impregnate them. Why?
And begat children by them.
By them. Go ahead. Children, offspring, go ahead.
That thus nothing might be wanting to them on earth.
Because when you leave a legacy, that means your children and their children and even their children. That's your legacy. It's like you still here because you're going to find some of them over the generations going to look just like their grandfather or great-grandfather, and they're going to act like him. You hear it all the time. You act just like your great-granddaddy, boy. You look just like him, too. You hear it all the time. But in any case, we are going to continue reading.
But you are formerly spiritual, living the eternal life.
Remember what he said. You are formerly spiritual, living the eternal life. They had to give up something. Not just their earthly homes, brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
And immortal for all generations of the world.
Why would you want more than this? Why would you want a flesh and blood woman as opposed to immortality through all generations of the world? I want you to stop and think about that, brothers and sisters. You have to be careful with the decisions you make when you reject the word of God and the truth and the way God has laid things out that we must follow, and you reject that. The Lord talks about a place that he throws the wicked in, and that death is final. You don't want that. So he says that these angels were formerly spiritual, living the eternal life which should have been sufficient and immortal for all generations of the world, but yet they wanted to be like men. They wanted flesh and blood wives. They lusted after women when they looked at them daughters. Because you know why? Why would an angel be that tripped out over a flesh and blood woman? Why? There ain't no females in heaven, brothers and sisters. Angels, that's why they call them the sons of God. You never read anywhere in history or the Bible that says the daughters of God. And it pertains to angels. You can't read that nowhere. They're all males. So there ain't no sexual stuff going on up in heaven.
Because they were their number was innumerable. There was no need to have
duplicate. It's no need to replicate yourselves or anything like that. You're living eternally. It's so many of you can't count. Why would you want anything else? But when they saw them daughters of men on earth, the ones that came down, it flipped. They started lusting and desiring to want to have relations with them. And that's what they did. They fell. They rebelled against God. They have laws up in heaven too, brothers and sisters. That stuff ain't going on up there. So they came down to the earth and did these things. This is what you're not paying attention to either. You're not putting time where it should be. They descended on earth. This is a past event that happened, and you trying to throw it in the future with misplacing scriptures and misquoting scriptures, which we're going to deal with a little bit in this lesson as well. But anyway, it says here, I'm going to go on and go to that 7th verse. Read that last verse.
And therefore I have not appointed wives for you.
I've not authorized you to get no wives, no earthly men, earthly women as wives. I haven't given you that. There was no need for it. You were living for all generations the immortal life. Eternally. Go ahead. Finish.
As for the spiritual ones of the heaven, in heaven is their dwelling.
The ones that are righteous and still up in heaven, that's where they're going to dwell. But what about you that fail? You ain't coming back up here no more. You're not going to come back up here no more. I'm throwing you out because you know you defiled yourselves. Let me read that.
Mm-hmm.
You have defiled yourselves with the blood of women. Contaminated. Not only that, you're contaminated between the ears also. Just like men get contaminated like that. And this is what you brought to the earth when you did what you did. You tried to destroy God's creation, and not just man, animals as well. That's another lesson though. Okay, now let's go to Genesis 18 and read something else here in Genesis 18. We're going to go to Genesis 18 and start at the 1 and read down to the 8. Remember, these heavenly beings came down in the likeness and in the appearance and character of men, okay? And they did the things that men do. They took themselves wives too. And they had children with these daughters of men. This is what we've read thus far. And we're going to read it out of the Bible too. Go ahead. Start at verse 1. Genesis 18.
And the Lord appeared unto them in the plants of Mamre. Mm-hmm. And he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day.
This is Abram. He saw 3 men, from afar, and he's sitting in the tent, so he ran and greeted them and whatnot. Go ahead, keep reading.
And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him.
3 who?
Men.
3 men. But these are not men, brothers and sisters. They look like men. This is what I want you to understand. Go ahead.
And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door and bowed himself toward the ground.
This was a great custom in the land, where if you saw people, strangers and whatnot, you greeted them and you bowed to them. You gave them real respect. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that type of stuff going on around us in this day and age, 2019. It's just, you do something like that, you might lose your life, even though, you try to be nice to people when you can. But go ahead.
And said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched.
Go ahead.
And wash your feet.
So these men had feet.
And this was another custom.
Another custom. Hey, man, sit down. Let me get some water. Wash your feet, man. You've been traveling and whatnot. Come on. And go ahead.
And rest yourself under the tree.
So these men took water and washed their feet. I'm quite sure they're going to show you that they drink it too, but they rested. Go ahead.
And I will fetch thee a morsel of bread.
Who?
Bread.
So they ate just like men. Go ahead.
And comfort ye your heart.
Go ahead.
After that ye shall pass on. For therefore are ye come to your servant.
Go ahead.
And they said, So do
go
as
ahead.
thou hast said.
Hey, right, go ahead. Okay, we cool. Thank you, man. Go ahead.
And Abraham has hastened into the tent unto Sarah and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal.
A fine meal. Go ahead.
Knead it and make cakes upon the hearth.
Make what?
Cakes.
So they ate cakes. Go ahead.
And Abram ran unto the herd and fetched a calf tender and good.
A calf? This is meat here, brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
And gave it unto the young men, and he hastened to dress it.
So the young man took it and dressed it? You mean he took it and prepared it, you know what I'm saying? To cook it. Go ahead. And he used what?
And he took butter.
Took what?
Butter.
Butter. Go ahead.
And milk.
And what?
And milk.
And milk, brothers and sisters. Men, do men eat any of these things right here?
Yeah.
Or consume any of these things? So they took on the character of men when they came down before us, and they looked like men. They did everything that men do. They could. Okay? And these fallen ones, those are the ones that really went and took it all away. Go ahead, finish this.
He took butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat.
And they did what?
Eat.
They ate this stuff, brothers and sisters. Just like, or as, or in being in likeness of men, they did the things that men do. This is proof right here, but these are angelic or celestial beings here who came and looked just like men. Let's go on and further prove. Let's go to Genesis 19. We're going to read 1 to 3 and continue this. This is Lot. And 2 of these beings appeared to him. And let's see how they came. Did they change anything? They come looking like a bull, or like a camel, or like a sheep. Let's see what they came and looked like. Go ahead.
And there came 2 angels.
To who?
2 angels.
It says 2 angels, brothers and sisters. But we'll know these angels are also gods, or heavenly beings, celestial beings, or sons of God. It's all the same. Go ahead.
Came 2 angels to Sodom at even. And Lot sat in the gate of Sodom.
He was always sitting there to try to catch strangers that travel through, to bring them in his house to protect them from them Sodomites. That's why he was sitting there. That was one of the things that Lot was known to do, was try to protect people, strangers who traveled into this place. It was a horrible place. Go ahead.
And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with his face toward the ground.
Same as his uncle. Okay, these men knew how to treat people. But like I say, he had another reason for that too, because he didn't want them Sodomites to get their hands on these guys. Go ahead.
And he said, Behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house.
Turn into my house. In other words, turn into my house and be under my what?
Roof.
Roof under my what? Protection. From this nonsense that's getting ready to befall y'all. Excuse me. So he told him that. Go ahead.
And tarry all night.
Stay in here all night. Don't travel out there at night. You don't want to do that. Stay in my house, under my roof, under my protection, and you be safe. Okay? Look what else he did.
And wash your feet.
Same as Abraham told him. Took water, make him wash your feet. You've been traveling and so forth. Continue.
And ye shall rise up early and go on your way.
Yeah, stay all night here. You ain't got no problem, man. But don't go out there. But go ahead.
And they said, Nay.
No, we going out there. We got something to do, man. He don't know the angels, though.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
But we will abide in the street all night.
And this man had a fit. Lot had a fit. He worried about them. He had a fit. Look what he says.
And he pressed upon them greatly.
Pressed upon them greatly. That means that, hey, man, listen, he's still there chatting with them guys. Look, man, y'all can't do this, man. Trust me. Stay in the house. I got you. I'm going to take care. I'm going to feed you. Don't go out there. Go ahead.
And they turned in unto him.
He convinced them. That's how persuasive he was. And he was adamant. He said he pressed upon them greatly. Man, y'all can't go out there, man, at night. Please. Don't do it, man. Stay in here with me, and then you leave out in the morning where it's light. You can be safe. This is what he's saying. Go ahead.
And entered into his house. And he made them a feast.
A what?
A feast.
A feast. Go ahead.
And did bake unleavened bread.
What? Go ahead.
And they did eat.
And they ate also again. This is the second time we see this. They eat like men. They wash like men. They talk like men. They look like men. Brothers and sisters, you can't see this by now? How these angels pulled this off? They took themselves wives, just like men have wives. And we read Enoch is the expert. He was in other words, I'm going to tell you something else. He was an eyewitness. This is what you don't understand. And he's telling you what he witnessed and what happened throughout the past years behind us. These angels did this. These men who came down. These angels came down looking like men. They were gods. Because angels are gods. It's just a lesser god. Anything that's eternal and can't die, what do you call that? Huh? What do you call that? You're not thinking, people, especially some of you black Hebrew Israelites. And I stay on you because that doctrine was fed me. And it's not personal. I love a lot of people that I came out of the class I came out of, but you can't reason with them. They used to blame Baptist people. You can't reason with them people. But they the ones that can't be reasoned with because somebody could show them something. I've witnessed this. That's straight up true. But they've been blinded by the doctrine. They've been fed and they don't see it. It's right there. You can't see it. Genesis 6 is right here. You can't see it. It's right in front of you. But you reject it because you've been trained to do this, to reject God's truth. You better wake up. Better wake up before it's too late. But anyway, these angels came down looking like men, and they ate and washed and all of that just like men. They look like men and all of that. So let's go ahead and continue this right quick. Let's go and confirm this by the eyewitness. The angels do the same thing that men do, and they have sex with women. Let's go to the book of Enoch and look at chapter 6. We're going to read 1 and 2. Now we're going to see where Moses got this from. Go ahead.
And it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied in those days, were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters.
Wait a minute. So you have men and you have daughters. Okay? And these daughters were beautiful. Go ahead.
And the angels.
Who?
The angels.
The sons of God, the children of heaven. Okay? That's 3 entities here that we're dealing with. Go ahead.
The children of heaven saw and lusted after them.
They lusted after who?
After the daughters of men.
The daughters of men, brothers and sisters. And if you lust after a woman, what do you want to do with this woman? You men out there, women, they be after you, so you know what they want. If a man is lusting after you, what does he want from you? What does he want to do with you and to you? Come on, people, wake up and admit the truth. This is plain and simple. Go ahead.
And said to one another, come, let us choose us wives.
Who?
Choose wives.
Wives are not for angels. We read that in Enoch earlier. I think it was in the 15th chapter. Why? I didn't create wives for you. Wives are for men. But they took on the characteristics of men, the mindset. They wanted to pass for men and so forth and so on. And they did that. Go ahead and finish this.
Choose us wives from among the children of men and get us children.
You didn't need to get no children. You were living the eternal life for all generations. That was sufficient for you. You didn't need to duplicate yourselves to have a legacy. Your legacy was you. You lived eternally. How could you not see this? That's to let you know, brothers, they couldn't see it because lust will blind you. When you want to do something that's against the law, it will blind you of reality and of truth, and you'll start believing fantasy. You start believing things that are not true to get you in trouble with God. And these angels certainly got in trouble with God. He didn't forgive them for doing what they did. And they certainly did this because we read it everywhere we go. We read the same thing. How can you not accept this? This is the book. This is the Tanakh, the Torah, brothers and sisters. You Hebrew Israelites, this is what it says. And this is what you say you believe, but you reject this because of who and why? Because your pastor don't want you to see the truth. All he's thinking about is tithes and getting money out your pocket. And the book tell you why spend your money for that which is not bread. And you read that scripture, it's talking about somebody else. It's talking about you, black Hebrew Israelites. It is. And you can't even see that. Because he's not giving you what you're supposed to be getting from this book, this Torah, this Tanakh. You're not getting it. Because if you don't believe this, you might have closed the book. Because this is a tax and connected to even beyond us.
And the reason for a lot of things being the way it is.
It's exactly. Our present situation. You don't understand. And this is what you're being and have been denied and will continue to be denied if you just want to roll with what somebody's telling you instead of looking at this thing yourself and grab the necessary literature and books so you can compare and see that it's the truth of God, not men. Anyway, it says, how are they going? We know how they did this, but then there's a little something else that you really don't know, and that's what's going to come later on. But how are they going to accomplish this? Okay, these were angels who had all the parts that men had. Now we're going to go, and I'm going to show you something to confirm what we've been reading already. Right, quickly, let's go to Enoch 7. We're going to read one verse, verse 2.
Okay.
Read that verse.
And they became pregnant.
Who?
The daughters.
The daughters of men. By who?
By the angels.
By the angels, brothers and sisters, the sons of God, the fallen gods that came down to earth in the likeness of men. Go ahead.
And they bear great giants.
Who?
Great giants.
That's the fourth entity in this story. Men, the daughters, the angels, and these giants. These are your four components in Genesis 6. Okay, go ahead.
Whose height was 3,000 ells.
Now this appears to be a misprint. Okay, I'm still researching this. It takes years sometimes to find things out, but a lot of people saying it's a it wasn't 3,000 ells, it was 300. I'm not sure yet. I've read both, but I'm still looking before I make a final decision. But we know they were giants.
They were giants, and they were very tall.
Exactly. We
taller
know this
than 9 feet or 10 feet.
Exactly.
Or 12 feet.
We found skeletal remains of giants on record over 35 feet tall, brothers and sisters. That's record. And I have some information to up to 42 feet. Okay? I'm just letting you know. This ain't no foolishness. This ain't no joke. This ain't something somebody making up. This is actual recorded history and record.
And it's in the Bible, how when they went to the promised land, that's what it was. They sent spies out. They were afraid to go in there.
The promised land because...
So there's giants in there.
We look like grasshoppers.
Yeah.
Some people say that's, well, you know, they kind of exaggerate. No, it's not. You read what you read. Can you imagine how a grasshopper, if he could really speak to us, say we look to him? They're giving you a almost actual, but it's not embellished upon, but they're just letting you know how big these
They had to give it to you how they could give it to you.
Right.
And they compared themselves to grasshoppers.
These men were huge in height compared to them, okay? And I just want you to know that. But here it is again in Enoch, the witness, sharing this with us. These sons of God, or these angels, took themselves wives from among men and wives from other husbands, from their husbands. I can read that to you in another book. And they impregnated them. And they bear great giants, it says. Now you know where these giants came from. Those of you who don't believe, you need to do some more research. They existed. They are real. Okay? Now we're going to continue on. We're going to go back. We're going to go to the book of Enoch 15. I think we've done that. I wanted to read this again to make sure that we know what we read here. We're going to pick it up. I want to check something right quick. Yeah, I read it earlier. And I wanted to read it again because this is important. You need to understand this. Enoch was our eyewitness. And what he tells us, you can read in Genesis 6. Now we're going to revisit something we read earlier because I'm just getting to the point here, and I want you to really look at this again. That's why I'm going over it again. We're going to go back to Enoch 15, and we're going to read 3 to the 7, okay? Enoch was a righteous scribe of God, and we're going to go to verse 3, and we're going to read the title of verse 3 is Left Heavenly Estate. And this is a twofold thing here. They left their heavenly home, but they also left something else, which we're going to show you later on. We're going to show you what that was. Anyway, let's read that third verse. Let's look at this again.
Wherefore have ye left the high, holy, and eternal heaven?
Why have you left the high and eternal heaven, you angels? Why? You got everything you need. Eternity for all generations. What more do you want? Go ahead.
And lain with women.
That's why they left. They saw them daughters of men, and they went down and had sex with them. We read this already, but they laid with women. Go ahead.
And defiled yourselves with the daughters of men.
This is what we read.
And taken to yourselves wives.
This is what we can read about in Genesis 6. Now you know where this came from. I want to press upon you that get this book. Don't let these pastors talk you out of not getting this book. Get the right one, though. Okay? In any case, continue.
And done like the children of earth, and begotten giants as your sons.
You can't do this. Why have you done this? You left your heavenly home and came down to earth, took wives from their husbands and impregnated them and had giants as your sons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why would you do this? Now here's the reason why they were forbidden to couple brothers and sisters with earthly women. God never ordained it, okay? All right? But being rebellious angels or rebellious sons of God, they did. He never ordained them to do this. Go ahead. We're going to go to verse 4, and it said, abandon holiness. Okay? That's the title of verse 4. Go ahead and read that.
And though ye were holy.
Well, you were holy, but you defiled. Now, go ahead.
Spiritual.
You were, but you defiled.
Living the eternal life.
What you want to not... Brothers and sisters, can you understand this? They were living the eternal life. Go ahead.
You have defiled yourselves with the blood of women.
The blood of women. Go ahead.
And have begotten children with the blood of flesh.
You don't need to create no legacy for yourself when you eternal beings. We die and we leave behind our children. But you are the eternal angels, the eternal children of heaven, of God. You not gonna die. You don't have to worry about no legacy and leaving nothing behind. You gonna always be here. So why would you want to duplicate the actions of men who died? Go ahead.
And as the children of men have lusted after flesh and blood, as those also do who die and perish.
Yes, they're going to perish in what? The lake of fire. What do you think the angels going to be? That's what it means is to die like men. Y'all going to die. Since you want to be a man, you want to act like a man, all that, then you're going to die like a man. Just like they perish. They're going to be thrown in the fire along with you. Okay, because it was created for you angels, because y'all were created to live forever. As long as you walk the way you were supposed to walk and obey the laws of God, because the angels have to obey too. And so since you had sex like men, you're going to die like men. Where? In the fire. Okay? Now let's continue reading.
Okay. Therefore...
this is verse 5 and 7, and it's titled Wives for Men. In other words, I created the daughters of men for men, for them to be wives of men, for men. Not you angels, not you sons of God. Go ahead.
Therefore have I given them wives, also that they might impregnate them.
Not you angels. You weren't supposed to do this. Go ahead.
And beget children by them.
Not giants. I didn't create no giants to be on this earth. Go ahead.
That thus nothing might be wanting to them on earth.
Hey, go ahead.
But you were formerly spiritual, living the eternal life, and immortal for all generations of the world.
All generations. How can you throw this out the window? But that's what these fallen angels did. Go ahead and finish this.
And therefore I have not appointed wives for you.
I didn't give you no permission to get no earthly women, no flesh and blood women and turn your descend from this high and holy heaven. You know, you departed, you rejected that, and came down to earth, broke my laws, and then you took wives from men, broke more laws, the laws of man, and impregnated these women, and they brought forth and bare giants as your children, your legacy. No, that ain't gonna go on, because I'm gonna get rid of all of them. I'm gonna lock you up, and I'm gonna destroy them by having them, some of them destroy themselves, then I'm gonna send the flood wars and finish them off. And that's exactly what you read in Genesis. And you looking at this and ain't paying attention to what you read. Continue.
For as for the spiritual ones of the heaven, in heaven is their dwelling.
That's right. The righteous angels going to stay in heaven. That's where they dwell. But you fell. You left. You gave it up. And lusted after strange flesh. So you ain't coming back up there. Matter of fact, you don't have access to even go that far anymore. But let's continue this. And it's been a real big misunderstanding, okay, with one situation in the Bible that you read, and you hear these Hebrews like say this all the time. And it's about time. It's the key, okay? Understanding the time that he's speaking about, meaning who's speaking? Jesus Christ said something. Everybody takes this and just go to town with it and don't put it in its proper perspective, where it belongs and what he's talking about. You twist it to try to make it be what you want it to be. You twisting scripture. You twisting what our Lord and Savior is saying and has said about this, but we're going to clear this up again today. And the Lord, remember, tells us all, you can get a whole lot of things while you're here, but with all you're getting, he says, get understanding. You better remember that too. We're going to go to Matthew 22, and we're going to read 23 to the 30, because Jesus said something. Is he talking about the past or the future? You got two, you got to pick one. What is he talking about? Ain't no middle ground. Which one is he talking about, the past or the future? Is this a past event or a future event? What is he talking about here? Let's read. Start at 23 and read this.
The same day came to him the Sadducees,
who didn't believe in the resurrection. Go ahead, and many other things.
Which say that there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, Master.
Wait a minute. They asked him, but are they asking him about a past event here or a future event? Is the resurrection a past event or a future event? I'm talking about the one that the Lord is talking about for all.
Well, that's future.
That's future. We're going to be changed and so forth and this, that. It's about a future event here. Keep reading this. Watch what you read. Pay attention to what you read. Go ahead.
Saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up seed unto his brother.
Hopefully it's his brothers in Christ. Okay? It just don't mean any brother just take the one. No. Go ahead.
Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise, the second also.
Same thing happened. Go ahead.
And the third unto the 7th.
Unto the 7th. 7 brothers. Same thing happened. Go ahead.
And last of all, the woman died also.
Okay, so she died. Now they talking about, okay, this woman died. Now look what they ask him.
Therefore, in the resurrection.
Which one? Which one is he talking about here? This was back then. Was it beyond them or behind them? It was beyond them. And it's beyond us today. 2019. This is the resurrection they asking them about. Go ahead.
Whose wife shall she be of the 7th?
Go ahead.
For they all had her.
All had sex with her. Go ahead.
Jesus answered and said unto them, Ye do err. Not ye do err.
What's an error, brothers and sisters?
A mistake.
Go ahead.
Not knowing the scripture.
Not knowing the scripture. Go ahead.
Nor the power of God.
Nor the power of God. Go ahead.
For in the resurrection.
What? The resurrection behind us or the one to come? The one that's before us? You pick. It can't be the one behind us. There were some people resurrected. We know incidents where that happened, but this is a major resurrection that's yet to come. This is what they talking about. Ain't got to do with no past. So we talking about the resurrection to come. Go ahead. When Jesus Christ returns. Go ahead.
They neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven.
So they neither marry nor are given in marriage where?
In heaven.
In heaven, brothers and sisters.
Just like we said, before the fallen came, there was no procreation in heaven of the
None.
angels. They did, so therefore they didn't marry or were given in marriage.
No. So
And it's still the same to this day.
So what is he talking about here? This is something that you never really stop and question in your own mind. Stop listening to people and read this stuff for yourself. This is very clear. They neither marry nor are given. Jesus said this. Given it where? In the resurrection to come. Jesus is talking about the future resurrection.
And the word is heaven. Just like they were immortal, the angels that fell, and they gave up their estate. When we die and we go to heaven, we're going to be immortal. And therefore, we're just like the angels in heaven.
Brothers and sisters, this stuff is so clear. It's simple. He said, and you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, we are gonna be as the angels, like that.
Right. That's what I said.
Just like when the angels descend, and they descend as men in the likeness of men. When we go to heaven, we're gonna be in the likeness of what?
Angels. And do what angels do, which we're not given in marriage.
Brothers, this is simple. This is not hard. But anyway, I just wanted to go there. Stop messing this up. Jesus ain't talking about the earth and what people do on earth. He's talking about you when you are sin up and become what you're going to become. You're going to be just as and like the angels.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't got to worry about being married because eternal life is going to be enough.
That's right.
You're going to live for whatever is beyond that. Before it said all generations, but it might not be no generations after that. We don't know. But you're going to be eternal. An eternal being living the eternal life. That's all you need. You ain't got to worry about marrying
and having
procreating and having no babies and no wife. This is what Jesus is trying to tell these dumb Sadducees. Anyway, we cleared that up. Don't mess it up no more, people. I'm specifically talking to black Hebrew Israelites. Okay, specifically the ones that I know. Okay, we're going to go on now, and we're going to look at Genesis 6, 1 and 2 and 4. We're going to read Genesis 6, 1, 2, and skip to 4. We're going to just get to it right here, because this is what we've been reading about all this time. And we chose you, Moses got this from who? Enoch, the eyewitness. That's who he got this from. That's where Paul got it from. That's where Peter got it from. And you don't understand this because you ain't trying to. You're letting people talk you out of looking and seeking the truth. Okay? When you get there, we're going to read verse 1 and 2 and then skip to 4. Genesis 6, verse 1. Read.
And it came to pass.
Same thing you read in Enoch. Go ahead.
When men began to multiply on the face of the earth.
That's one entity, men. Go ahead.
And the daughters were born unto them.
2 daughters of men. That's 2.
That the sons of God saw the daughters of men.
That's 3. That's the 3 entities so far. Men, daughters, and the sons of God who are what? Angels. Go ahead.
That they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
They were fair, meaning they were beautiful, and they lusted after these women, these daughters of men. Okay, and they took wives, and I can show you when they say took, they did it by force. They took wives from their husbands. Mm-hmm. All the ones they saw, oh man, that one right there. Woo! I want that one. I want that one. Whether they were married or not. And they killed the husbands of these women who tried to fight them. Remember, they were more than men and more powerful than men, but they didn't know they were men because they came down to earth in the appearance or in the likeness of who? Of men.
They didn't know they were angels.
They didn't know they were angels.
Right.
And they looked just like men. And they were probably just done in real quick because they couldn't beat these angels physically. Mm-hmm. But whatever one they saw, they chose. Skip to 4 and finish this.
There were giants in the earth in those days.
That's that 4th entity that came from the coupling of these sons of God with the daughters of men. Giants. Go ahead.
And also after that.
Before and after the flood, they appeared. Go ahead.
When the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men.
Now, how plain can this be for you? When the sons of God, who are angels, came in unto, they had sex with them. Children, the daughters of men, and what happened after they did that?
And they bear children to them.
It's got to be sex, right here. How they gonna bear children and they ain't touching? They in the likeness of men. They're doing the things that men do, and they impregnated these women. As simple as that. Go ahead.
The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown.
And this is a twofold thing. It's talking about. Well, I ain't gonna even get into that, but I just want to bring this point home that, hey, we're talking about 4 entities here. Men, their daughters, the sons of God who are angels, and the children that came about by the coupling of these angels and the daughters of men. The giants. Right there. That's right here. That's what all we've been reading about. Okay, but like we were saying when we read Jesus speaking in Matthew's, you know, they messed that up. Look, he said we're going to be as the angels. The angels in heaven are eternal beings. There's no need for them to procreate or reproduce or have sex with women to bring about a legacy or someone like them. They're not going nowhere. And at that point in time, when we get to that point, we're not either, because we're going to be as the angels. Meaning we're going to be eternal beings as well, brothers and sisters. This is what he was saying here. But I have heard them mess this up and try to just take history out of the equation, that this happened actually on the earth, where these angels descended and in the likeness of men and did what they did, and you trying to say that didn't happen. And this is what you read in the book all day long. It don't make no sense for you to be like that. But you're kicking against the truth. You better stop that. And accept what you're reading and stop mixing this stuff up and know what you're reading and sit down and study it yourself. Okay? Now we're going to go to the book of Genesis. Genesis 6, 1 and 2 and 4. And let's look at is this a past event? Because remember, we got this from the eyewitness who was Enoch. And this is where Moses got it from. Go ahead and read 1 and 2. We're just touching on this to make sure it's clear. Go ahead.
When men began to increase on earth, and daughters were born to them, the divine being saw how beautiful the daughters of men were.
Wait a minute. The who?
Divine being.
It calls them the sons of God. We're reading this out of what?
Out of the Tanakh.
Out of the Tanakh. Hold that book up. Brothers and sisters, this is the Tanakh. This is what you people will swear on a stack of Tanakh. You are Tanakh only believers. Okay? This is what we're reading out of. You black Hebrew Israelites. It says that, read that again.
When men began to increase on the earth.
Isn't that what the King James says? Go ahead.
And daughters were born to them. The divine being saw how beautiful the daughters of men were.
Wait a minute. The divine beings is what we're reading about here. These divine beings are the sons of God or angels. So we have men, their daughters, and these divine beings, which are angels or gods, or the children of heaven. Okay, continue.
And took wives from among those that pleased them.
Took who?
Wives.
Took the daughters of men who were married to husbands. They took them. Okay, and what?
The Lord said, my breath shall not abide in men forever.
In the Bible, King James says, my spirit. Now you know what breath, what it is. Breath. That's spirit too, but it's also something else, but we don't get into that. Go ahead.
Since he too is flesh.
He said, my spirit shall not abide in man, meaning, where's the breath at?
In man.
In man. Where's the spirit of God at? In man. Where's the soul?
In man.
In man. This is what we're talking about here, the mind, brothers and sisters. his spirit as well, along with the body. It's also something you can say it's not spirit, but the body is the soul also. So is the mind, okay, which is inside of the body. That's my whole point here. He said, my breath shall not abide in man, okay, forever. And what do you think? The Lord breathed into you the breath of life, and he breathed into and gave you a soul to animate this body. That's what makes it operate. But continue.
Let the days allowed him be 120 years.
With all this wickedness going on, and these giants doing what they doing, these fallen angels, their parents doing what they doing, they done turned the wives that they took from husbands to witches and so forth. They're practicing witchcraft, all of this. I'm going to give them 120 years to straighten out. If they don't do what they're supposed to do in these 120 years, I'm sending the flood to kill them all.
And that does not mean that they only can live to be 120.
Absolutely correct.
That means that I'm giving you 120 years to straighten up.
This is specific here. It's talking about something specific. And you don't understand that either. Okay, but continue this.
It was then and later too that the Nephilim appeared on earth.
It says in the King James, before and after, after the flood, that the giant Nephilim are the giants. In this case, it's an interchangeable word. It can be used to describe the parents, and depending on how it's used, it can be used also to describe their children, the giants.
The Nephilim.
Go ahead, finish.
When the divine beings.
Wait. So these giants appeared when the divine being, meaning the angels or the heavenly sons of God, did what?
Cohabitated with the daughters of men.
Wait 1 minute. What does cohabitate mean?
Lay with.
They lain with, come on, coupled with, had sex with, to produce offspring. Go ahead.
Who bore them offspring.
These daughters bore them offspring. Go ahead.
They were the heroes of old, the men of renown.
Let me see this book. Let me see this book. Where are we reading this out of, brothers and sisters? This is not the King James. What is this? We read the same thing out of this. Okay, I'm going to do you one better. We're going to move on. Let's go to the Torah. Meaning the first 5 books of Moses. The Holy Scriptures according to the traditional Hebrew text. Okay? Genesis 6, 1 through 4. All right? According to that, we're going to go to the Torah. And we're going to read what it says in there. We're going to go, and again, the sons of God are originally identified to be what? In the Torah, just as they were in the Tanakh. Okay? And our Hebrew forefathers understood this. All right? And we're going to go and read 1 to the 4 and see what it says in the Torah. Okay, go ahead.
When men began to increase on earth.
I'm being very, very redundant. There we go again with men. Go ahead.
And daughters were born to them.
That's number 2, daughters.
The divine beings saw how beautiful the daughters of men were.
Who are the divine beings?
The angels.
The angels are the sons of God. One and the same. That's the third entity in this equation. Go ahead.
And took wives from among those that pleased them.
They saw the beautiful daughters of men and took wives because they lusted after them sexually. This is what this is telling you. Been telling you all this time. But you don't want to believe the truth. Go ahead.
The Lord said, my breath shall not abide.
Same thing we read in the Tanakh. My spirit is in the King James, the same thing. And I could have taken you to the Dead Sea Scrolls. I mean, not the there. I could have took you there, but I could have took you to the Septuagint. That was the Bible that came about with the Hebrews when they translated the Hebrew word into Greek. Okay, this is way before the King James Bible. And what do you think that says? Think it's going to be any different? No. It's going to tell you the same thing. Go ahead.
Shall not abide in man forever, since he too is flesh. Let the days allowed him be 120
I'm going
years.
to allow him 120 years with all this stuff going on. Excuse me. And those who ruling over my creation, I'm going to give you 120 years to return to me, because what you don't know, he had two preachers back then. Methuselah and Noah were the preachers of God, because he always sent someone to preach his word by what? 2 by 2. And back then, it was Methuselah and Noah preaching to these wicked people. They wouldn't adhere to it. They wouldn't humble themselves and return to the Lord, because they couldn't. All they could think about is evil continually, the book tells you, because they were bloodthirsty, just whacked out. Go ahead.
It was then and later too that the Nephilim.
The Nephilim. Who are the Nephilim? The giants in this instance. That's the fourth entity in this equation. They're the children of the coupling of the daughters of men and the sons of God, or the fallen angels. Okay, go ahead.
The Nephilim appeared on earth.
Where?
On earth.
On earth, not up in heaven, brothers and sisters. Ain't no sexual activity going on up there. This happened on earth. This is a past event. You can't erase this. This is what you've been trying to do, what your pastor been trying to do. Keep you away from this. But this is connected to more than you realize. Go ahead.
When the divine beings cohabitated with the daughters of men.
These are the sons of God, or the fallen angels. They cohabitated with the daughters of men, and the daughters of men did what?
Who bore them offspring.
Who are these giants, and they called them
Nephilim.
Right. And they were what? Finish that.
And they were the heroes of old, the men of renown.
I can read you a lot of famous instances you read about in the past. You don't even know they giants. I ain't gonna give you no names, but that's something you need to look into. You don't even know that they giants. A lot of these people you read about, they're giants.
A lot of the so-called heroes that we talk about today were patterned after some of those.
Exactly.
Giants back then.
And this is, brothers and sisters, we read the Torah, and let me hold that book here. This is what we read out of. Don't you see this? You can't get around this. This is the truth. And we read we've been reading out the King James Bible, and we've been reading out of the book of Eden. The same thing. You can't get around this. I'm just letting you know. So we're going to continue now. So this is what God's true record states. I don't care about the record your pastor made up. I don't care about that record. And you shouldn't either anymore. Okay? So the question, again, is how did these angels pull this off? We've already shown you evidence of how they did it. First of all, they couldn't come in a true state and do this. They had to change their appearance. Let's read some evidence about this. Okay? Let's go to the book of Enoch chapter 17 and read one verse. And the title of this verse, Angels, meaning seraphim, appear as men at will. Whenever they wanted to, they could just appear as men. They had the ability to do this. So let's read it, verse 1.
And they took and brought me to a place in which those who were there were like flaming fire.
This is Enoch. He's telling you what he saw on his journey, okay? And he saw angels. They look like what? Flaming fire. Because you can read about this in the Bible, okay? It confirms that these are indeed angels, or the sons of God. Go ahead.
And when they wished.
When they what?
Wished.
When they wished, or just thought
whenever
of it.
they wanted to.
Whenever they wanted to, they did what?
They appeared as men.
As men, like when they came down amongst Abraham and Lot. And many other instances in the Bible, they look like men. Even Gabriel in the Bible is called a man. Michael is called a man. Even Satan. You're not paying attention to what you read, brothers and sisters. Did you finish that?
Yes.
Okay, these angels or sons of God have the power and the ability to alter their appearance, brothers and sisters. So much so, they have the same organs as earthly men. So we've shown you proof of that. They slept with the daughters of men. They coupled with the daughters of men. And they had giants or offspring by them. You've been reading this all your life and you don't want to believe it. But that's what it says. Let's go on and Enoch and further confirm this. They also, keep in mind, adopted the characteristics of men and did the things that men do, the lifestyle, everything. Okay, Book of Enoch chapter 19, we'll read one verse there, verse 1, and it's titled Angels Incarcerated Till the Great Judgment Day. Okay, these are the parents of these giants. They were incarcerated. Go ahead.
And Uriel said to me,
this is a holy angel right here, a righteous angel. Go ahead.
Here shall stand the angels who have connected themselves with women.
Wait a minute. Here shall stand, this is the place, the angels or the sons of God, okay, who have connected themselves. What do you mean connected themselves?
Coupled.
Coupled. Had sex with, lain with, lusted after, and so forth, brothers and sisters. With who? With women. You can read about this in 2 Peter 2 and 4 and Jude 6, which we're going to get to further confirm this. And they defile themselves, becoming unclean. Go ahead.
And their spirits assuming many different forms.
Just wait a minute. Just wait 1 minute. Read that again.
And their spirits assuming many different forms are defiling mankind.
So they did what? Their spirits, these angels,
they could change to anything they want.
Anything, even adamant objects. Inanimate objects. Solid objects and so forth. Or like I said, I can show you that Satan became a waterfall. Okay? To fool Abraham when he was getting ready to sacrifice Isaac. I can show you that in another historical reference. Okay? But these spirits took on assuming, and they assumed many different forms. Go ahead.
And shall lead them astray to sacrificing to demons as gods.
And this happened, and it's still happening to this day. This is. Okay? And you can read about this in 1 Corinthians 10. Okay, you can confirm this. You just got to know where to go. Go ahead.
Here shall they stand till the day of the great judgment, in which they shall be judged till they are made an end of.
And we know what this is talking about. That ain't happened yet, but they are incarcerated. But they have not had the final judgment in terms of their end. That ain't Cain yet. That's not happened yet. But they are incarcerated. Okay? In the lower parts of Sheol. Let's go now to the book of Enoch 64. And we're going to read verse 1 and 2. When you get there, read.
And other forms I saw hidden in that place.
But, so his other forms, other angels in other forms, he saw hidden. Go ahead.
I heard the voice of the angel saying,
These are sons of God. Go ahead.
These are the angels who descended to the earth.
What did they descend?
To the earth.
To the earth, brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
And revealed what was hidden to the children of men.
Hidden secrets of heaven. They were kept in heaven, and they exposed them to this stuff, and this is what started killing man. They wasn't ready for it. They couldn't handle what they were told. Go ahead.
And seduce the children of men into committing sin.
In more ways than one, brothers and sisters. You got to understand this. This is an actual thing that happened on this earth. You cannot change that, even though many have tried. I've set up under teachers that have tried, and most of it they just avoid it. Or they run across or speak about it, and they go on about their business. They don't really get into this. But it's very simple. You can see this by way we have put this lesson together. So let's move on, brothers and sisters. Let's go another place and confirm this. Reconfirming what we have shown you. Let's stay in the book of Enoch and read one verse in chapter 39. Okay, these are the sons of God. They procreated with the daughters of men. Okay, this is God's holy record. Can't get around this. We read it out of the Tanakh. We read it out of the 5 books out of the Torah. We read it out of King James. I could have taken you to the Septuagint and on and on and on. Excuse me. And read you the same thing. Okay? But we're doing it this way. We're going to go now to back into the eyewitness. His writing. Mr. prophet, the righteous prophet of Enoch is the prophet. He's a righteous man. Okay? Righteous scribe. Okay, read that one verse. 39:1. Enoch 39:1. Read that one.
And it shall come to pass in those days.
It already has. Go ahead.
That elect and holy children will descend from the high heaven.
Wait a minute. Isn't that what we've been reading about? I'll interrupt you a little bit, but you read that without me saying anything. Go ahead, read that again.
And it shall come to pass in those days that elect and holy children will descend from the high heaven.
Didn't this happen?
Yep.
This happened already. This is past event. It said it shall come to pass in those, what days? The days of Jared, Enoch, and Noah. That the elect and holy children, these angels, the sons of God, will descend from the high. Remember it said it gave up what they gave up? Their home. It said heaven. I told you that was twofold. I'm going to show you that in a minute. And their seed will become one. I might be jumping gun here, but finish. Now you go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Now finish that.
And their seed shall become one with the children of men.
Their seed became one with who? The daughters of men. Angels have seed. If they got what men have, if they're going to sleep with a woman and pregnant and bring about giants, what do you think they took to do that? You're not paying attention to nothing you read. It says, and their seed will become one with or inside the womb of the children of men, meaning the daughters of men. This is what you're reading here. But let's move on. Speaking of the fallen angels, let's go to a place where I'm going to show you now how these angels did this. It's in the book. It's in the Tanakh. It's in the Torah. It's in the King James Bible, just as it's in Enoch and the Septuagint and all of that. But I'm going to show it to you from the King James, because you black Hebrew Israelites are very staunch believers. If it ain't in the King James, I don't want to hear it. It ain't for me. It's been in the King James all this time, and it ain't for you. We're going to go to a familiar place. We're going to go to the book of Jude. It's the Lord's brother. Okay? And check this out. Jude is one of them little books in the end, and he says the same thing we've been reading all through this class. Okay? That the fallen sons of God, meaning angels, had sex with women. Okay? And you got to pay closer attention, because there's something in here that's going to prove what I said. And you got to really play it. And I'm going to show it to you. Let's go to Genesis 6, verse 6. Jude. Let's go to Jude, verse 6. Okay, and read that verse 6. What does it say?
And the angels which kept not their first estate.
Hold on a second. Enoch told us the angels are the sons of God, or these gods kept not their first estate, meaning their heavenly home, but it means something else. Okay? Because they defiled themselves. Okay? So this is talking about something else. Go ahead. But the angels who kept not their first estate,
but left their own habitation, he has reserved an everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day.
You might look at this like you have been and think it's nothing. The angels which kept not their first estate, okay, they left their heavenly home, but left their own habitation. Wait a minute. This is not parallel talking here. They left their heavenly home, which is heaven. They didn't say they, but left their own habitation. That's something else, brothers and sisters. And you're not paying this attention. You haven't paid it no attention. This is twofold here. Right here in Jude, they left their first estate, meaning their heavenly home. Then it turns around and tells you, but left their own habitation. What is this? Habitation. We're going to look this word up. But let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. You haven't paid any attention. This word only appears twice in the whole Bible. And it's going to let you know how these angels pull this off. Let's go now to another place. The second place that they use, the first place they used, and then they went to Jude, they used it. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 5 and read one verse there, verse 2. and we're going to see what this means. This word is only used twice in the whole Bible, and this is what you never ever considered. Okay? Go ahead and read that verse 2.
For in this we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house, which is from heaven.
What is this house, which is in heaven? This is talking about a body.
Yep.
Your heavenly body is up there. We can read that to you out of the scriptures. But this house, it says, we're going to be clothed upon with our house. And in Jude, it said that
they left
their own habitation, meaning their own house. This is talking about their body. And we're going to prove this to you. You never even paid this stuff, this word, no attention. We're going to go to the Strong's Bible Concordance, and we're going to look up the word habitation, and we're going to look up the word house, and they mean the same thing. And 36:13 in the Greek section, the same word, habitation and house, they mean the same thing. They're the same thing. Okay? When you read this definition for habitation, it's the same definition for house. What is the word?
The word is oiketerion.
Okay?
Oiketerion.
And now, that's the same as house and habitation. And what does it mean?
Neuter, gender, of a presumed derived derivative of 3611.
Go ahead.
Equivalent to 3612. A resident.
A what?
A resident.
This is talking about heaven in one sense. Go ahead.
Literally or figuratively, habitation, house.
House. It's talking about their bodies. They gave up, not only have their heavenly home, they gave up their eternal bodies to pull this thing off. Okay? And then we say it says gender, it says derivative of 30. Let's go to 36:11. Same word, habitation or house. What is that word?
The word is okeo. From 36:24
to what?
To occupy a house.
Wait a minute. To occupy a house or body in this sense, brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
I.e. reside.
Reside.
Figuratively.
Reside in their body, or it's a twofold thing. Heaven. Depends on which one you're talking about. We're talking about now what they gave up. They gave up their heavenly home and their heavenly bodies. This is what this is telling you. Go ahead.
Figuratively inhabit, remain, inhere, by implication to cohabit, dwell.
They dwell.
Also see 36:25.
We're going to go and look at 36:12. Same word, Strong's Bible, going to the Greek section. It's habitation or house, because these were all connected when we first broke it down in 36:13. It mentioned 36:11 and 36:12. Now we're going to define 36:12. What's the word?
Oikema.
And it's
from 36:11. A tenement, i.e., a jail.
We're in jail. We're in jail, being inside of this
and it says
body.
In the scripture.
We're in prison inside of this body. What's inside of this body? The body is the soul, right? But there's a soul in here and it's imprisoned inside. But these angels basically gave up their spiritual bodies and did what they did. This is how they pulled this off. Because this is what this word means. It's only mentioned twice in the whole Bible. Habitation and house, same word. And when you look at the original meaning of it, or the way you pronounce it, the way you pronounce it is oiketerion. Okay? O-Y-K-A-Y-T-A-Y-R-E-E-O-N. You pronounce it like that's what it's talking about. They also gave up their spiritual bodies. That's how they pulled this off. This is why the Lord told me it had something to do with it too. You're gonna die like me. You had to do this. You lusted after these women. You gave up all eternity. For all generations, you had eternal life. You gave all that up because you lusted after the flesh and blood of women. That's a shame, is it not? Well, let's continue this story. We're gonna go again, stay in the book of Enoch, and we're gonna go to Enoch 44:1. This is talking about something else. Sometimes you could take the form of something and you couldn't change, you couldn't transform back to what you were. And I'm going to show you that. When you get there, read. It says, title, Irreversible Transformation of Some Angels. Okay? Go ahead.
Also, another phenomenon I saw in regard to the lightnings, how some of the stars...
These is twofold. The lightnings are angels and the stars are angels in this sense. Go ahead.
Arise and become lightnings and cannot part with their new form.
Their new form. The Lord wouldn't let them change back into whatever they were before that. But in any case, I just want to show you that. And this was the case with the angels. Once they defiled themselves and did what they did, they could not return to heaven, brothers and sisters. They were no longer holy. There was no place up there for them anymore. So what did they do? They dwelt among men until they were captured, recaptured, and incarcerated. The ones that were the first ones. But then you had some more that came, it says, after the flood and did the same thing. And all of them are not incarcerated. I'm just going to want to let you know that. But anyway, we can read that. We're going to go one more place. We're going to go to Matthew 25 and further look at this. Okay, we almost there, people. We're going to read two verses, the 33rd and the 41st verse. And the Lord had to do something. These sinful angels, he created them where they couldn't die. But once they sinned and he wouldn't forgive them, he had to create a new place that could kill them. Okay? And if you wicked, you're going to be right there with them. Okay? Anyway, read the 33rd verse, Matthew 25:33.
And he shall set the sheep on his right hand.
Okay.
And the goats on the left.
Well, we can define that word. We could do it later on, but you can go to the Greek 2055, and this word is
goats.
Right, goats. And find this word. We're gonna do that, but let's keep reading.
41.
No, you said he's gonna set the sheep on his right hand. That means the righteous, but the goats on his left hand. That's the wicked. Okay, we'll now skip to 41.
Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand.
The wicked. Go ahead.
Depart from me, ye cursed.
So the wicked are cursed. These angels were wicked. Are they cursed? Of course. When you join forces with the curse, you become cursed, you become defiled, and you are the wicked also. Go ahead.
Into everlasting fire.
That's where you gonna wind up. Go ahead.
Prepared for the devil and his angels.
Wasn't prepared for men. Okay, but men gonna be there. Angels gonna be there. They're gonna die like men. I believe that was the last place. It was the last place that we had to go to, brothers and sisters. And I put this lesson together, this class together, to try to reach you. Those of you who believe in the Lord and His holy word and everything in His Bible. Be it you read the Tanakh or the Torah or the King James, even some of the NASB, the NLV, the NLT, whatever. You can confirm if they're true or not. And we brought you this lesson because we were just simply tired of people skipping over this topic and running away from it like they're afraid to deal with these.
Or changing it.
Exactly. It says that the wicked daughters of Cain slept with the righteous sons of Seth. Okay, these are the sons of God. And when they coupled together, they brought about these giants. But you got wicked men and wicked women or righteous women coupling today, and I don't see no giants. But when you look at some of the things we've gone over in this lesson, you're talking about the Lord preparing a place for these angels. You know, prepare for these angels because they were eternal beings.
That's right.
And they could not die. So he had to prepare a place, everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. Okay? And if you hook up with them and you be on 18, that's where you're going to wind up too. So we had to bring forth this class to clear up a lot of this. We could have brought this many other ways, okay, but we brought it this way. It was plain, it was simple, it was right in your face, it was right at you, and we hope that you take this, okay, and take heed to this, and go over this class yourselves, because this will help you understand it's much more attached to this as well. We can't give you everything, but we gave you enough to know that, hey, don't read over Genesis 6 the next time. Read it, understand it, break it down yourselves. So until next time, Teresa and I are going to say today we are happy that you loaned us, or you gave us your ear, you fellowship with us through this class, and we hope you gain some understanding from this class, and we hope that it invites you, and that's what we're doing, to come back again for our next class. Okay? And until then, we'll say God bless you and your family, your household, and be careful out there, and we'll see you next time. God bless.
Draw me, Lord.